what you got. Oh, I can't see tomorrow. Gotta live, try to get a little wiggle room, the rest don't stop. Quid pro quo, I need the best y'all got. Tryna make a dollar, flip it like it's vinyl. Tryna make a way. What's it worth to you if the price too high? Quid pro quo, I need the best y'all got. Give me your best. Don't take nothing less, cause I'm giving you 100. How you always leaving me with nothing? I'm not impressed. It's gonna take more than this, cause I'm giving you 100. And I don't even know if I can trust you for nothing.
Well, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Thursday. Welcome to June the 27th. Heck yeah. We are quickly approaching Christmas. It's always about this time of the year when we get to about the 6th month of the year that I start looking forward, or I'm sorry, I don't ever look forward to Christmas, but I do start to warn you that the end of the year is approaching, and this is about the time of the year when we get to the 6th month of the year that I start to especially coach our agents that the end of the year is coming, and before you know it, it's going to be here. Jagger said something last night. And he said he felt like this year, 2024, has been a year of a Ferrari, and it has been like this, and we're already about to start school again. And so, good morning. Welcome to halfway through the year. Welcome to Christmas. No, I'm just teasing. I don't want to freak y'all out. But no, good morning. Welcome to the 27th, I suppose. That right? 27th of June. Wow. Hey, good morning. My name's Aaron Dwyer, and I'm going to share with you guys really a brief message this morning because I've got to be on the road. We've got to be on the road headed to a meeting. First thing this morning, a good meeting. So if you're with us and you're up this morning, please don't hesitate to say good morning. I love it. When I know you're on here, say good morning. It's always good to know that I'm not speaking out into the abyss. If you're watching this later in the day because you're not a morning person, then welcome. Hope this helps you at some point during your day today. So very quickly, just as a reminder, this call is nothing more, especially in the morning. Now, if you watch this in the afternoon, you've already started your day. So maybe this will interrupt a pattern of thoughts you have, especially if you're going down the wrong path. But these calls were started. The genesis of this call was to help our agents start their morning on the right foot, help our agents begin their morning in the right mindset, the right frame of mind, so that they would take their next few steps, at least in the direction of accomplishment in their day. And because unfortunately for entrepreneurs, especially in the real estate business, a lot of times we get in this habit of just trying to react to all the things that are going on. And I talked about talked about that fact, I guess, last week when I mentioned Napoleon Hill's premise of drifting. And we can talk about that some more. But this week, I guess the next 4 calls, this call and then 3 more, I'm going to talk about the 5 stages of achievement. I'm talking about the 5 stages. Alex Hormozy mentioned the 5 stages of achievement, and he kind of broke this down into 5 easy to understand achievable steps. And so I want to share those with you. Yesterday we started with number 1. We'll obviously get to number 2 today, but this is a continuation of a conversation that's been ongoing for the last 2.5 or 3 weeks on these calls, where I started talking about habit formation and the creation of good habits and the elimination of bad Well, we had a little technical difficulty there and lost the Wi-Fi. The joy and rapture of living in Northeast Georgia. But I believe it's coming back. So let's give this a shot again. My camera, I've got to fix this. Oh my gosh. So if you're still here, thanks for still being here. If you're not here, then I completely understand you not being here. My apologies. Let me get the camera situated here. All right. Okay. Let's get back into this. Sorry, y'all. So now I've only got 8 minutes to get this point across, which is really, really hard for me, but I'm gonna give it a shot anyway. So as we talk about the second stage, I think this is a stage that a lot of us get stuck in, right? This is second stage is a stage that a lot of us get stuck in. And so let's talk about the first stage. So the first stage, just as a reminder, was uninformed optimism. So the first stage in the 5 stages to achieving anything, the first stage was uninformed optimism. We have this childlike optimism that everything and anything is possible. Okay. The second stage is where we get a lot more adult-like, and we get into the stage of informed pessimism. So the second stage is informed pessimism. And I think a lot of us can identify with getting stuck in the stage of informed pessimism. We think we know more than we know. Remember the Neil Strauss quote yesterday that I mentioned, success comes down to doing the obvious things for an inordinate amount of time without thinking you're smarter than you actually are. So in this stage of informed pessimism, we know things now. We've been introduced to the concept. We've decided what our goal is. We've decided what our outcome is. We are seeing other people achieve a similar or same outcome that we want to achieve. We look at all of their steps to success, or what we believe to be their steps of success, or maybe we're having to bring people on to help us in this achievement, and those people let us down. They don't share the message properly. Whatever. We get information that informs us. Okay, we get information that gives us a little direction. We get information that takes us from being uninformed to now informed. We go from being ignorant to now having some knowledge, and this knowledge creates a wall. It creates a pessimism. It builds a negative bent toward achieving the goal. So now we begin to look at everything through a different lens. Instead of looking at everything through, yes, I can do it, we start to look at everything as it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. I don't have the resources. I'm not smart enough. I'm not as handsome as he is. I'm not as pretty as she is. They're much skinnier than I am. They have more money than I do. They live in a better. We go through all of these gyrations because now we have information on what it's going to take. Maybe that we've set down, we've lined out, we've written out 2 or 3 steps in the direction of that goal or that achievement. We look at the summit of the mountain and we decide, okay, here we go. And then we start climbing, and it becomes real. So when it becomes real, we start to realize that maybe we didn't train enough. Maybe I didn't pull enough logs. Maybe my legs aren't strong enough to climb this mountain. When we start to move in the direction of our dreams, our entire world starts to cave in around us, because now we have information. Now we have feedback. Now we have people that, as we start the journey, that are telling us you don't talk well enough, or your lighting's bad, or I don't know why you did this, or why you wore that shirt, or you're not going to make it up the mountain, or my gosh, this Patagonia coat isn't warm enough to help me survive when I get to the summit. So now we have all this information that bombards us, and we get overwhelmed. And it completely shifts our optimism into pessimism. It shifts our focus from we can do anything to we can do nothing. And in this stage of informed pessimism, and y'all, I know you all feel this, because I promise you, I felt this when I start to move towards something spectacular. When I have this thing that bubbles up in my spirit, and I say, that's what I've got to go do. It feels really, really good when the idea comes up. I'll run upstairs, and I've written things down, and I share it with Christy. And I'm like, hey, look, this is what I'm thinking. This is what's going on. This is what came up in my meditation. This is a fantastic idea. And then she says, no, it's not that great of an idea. Or I thought about that last week. Or, How are you going to do that? Or you get my point. Not that she's a wet blanket or poo-pooing the idea, but now there's information. And now we have to do things to support where we're going. And it's all fun and games when you're at the REI store buying all your gear, right? It's all fun and games when you're not at Mount Everest. It's all fun and games. And the reason I use that analogy is I've got a buddy of mine who climbs mountains, and I've heard him talk about his story 2 or 3 times, and in different conversations, I kind of try to put myself in his shoes to see what it's going to understand what it must have felt like to build up to going and being dropped off at the bottom of that mountain. And at the bottom of that mountain, there's all this uninformed optimism. They have seen people climb it. They've heard people summit Mount Everest. They're there at base camp, and they're looking up at this mountain, and they say base camp's fun, that everybody's in there drinking and partying and having fun and getting along, and it's just a really, really good time because everybody's uninformed about what's coming next, and they're all optimistic that they're going to make it. And then they start. Then the journey starts. Then their legs start to burn. Then the way they pack their packs is challenged. Then the way they have packed their food is challenged. Then the way they have prepared is challenged. Do they have enough water? Do they have enough oxygen? And all these things are now creeping in because now they're in the throes of it. They've started the trek. And so for you, all this is today is for you to recognize if you're feeling bad, if you're in this moment, if there's a place where you don't believe anymore, or you started a journey towards an achievement, don't let this stage stop you. You're in the beginning stages. You're in the very, very beginning of achieving something fantastic. Keep moving, keep walking, find people around you that can help you, keep your spirits up. Understand that this informed pessimism stage is just a stage in the process. It's just a step along the way, because you still have it in you. That you're the same person who was optimistic days before. You're the same person who was excited about your idea, the dream, and the purpose a month before. You're the same person who knew this is why you were created and put on this earth. You know that you're the same person. And just because you go into this little bitty shift, just because you shift into this spot of informed pessimism, just understand this is one of the stages of testing. This is one of the stages that every hero goes through, that every hero starts when they walk through their journey. Every hero story has this stage in it, where now we know where we're going. We know that we've started, and we know that it's hard. This is a stage where you just got to tie your shoes a little tighter, y'all. You just got to buckle down a little more, y'all. You got to read more, y'all. You've got to have people around you to support you guys. You got to start to build your team around you. You have to start to rely on the people around you. You have to rely on the fact that you had all this optimism and you had all these things in place, and you've got to begin to settle into understanding it's just one step in front of the other. I'm just going to make it 12 more inches. If I could just make one more phone call, if I can go knock on one more door, if I could just go have one more conversation, and you just keep going, and you just keep going, and you just keep going. Because in this stage, you're going to be let down. And in this stage, you're going to let yourself down. And in this stage, you're going to want to feel like giving up. In this stage, it's going to be a lot harder because you just came out of uninformed optimism. You just came out of this childlike state where everything's possible, and now you're in this state where everything seems impossible. And the only reason it feels like that is because now you have information. Now you have some feedback. Now you have some tests. Now you have some things that have come and happened that are beginning to stress your optimistic attitude. So my encouragement, I've got to go get ready because we've got to get on this call. They've got to get this on the road. So my encouragement to you today is, if you have taken the step towards your goal, taken the step towards your destination, if you have started this journey and you're feeling like it's useless, if you're sitting on the couch crying, if you're sitting there upset, if you don't know where to go next, if you feel like you're a lost ball in the weeds, just understand it's going to be okay. You just have to keep moving. And one of my favorite lines in Finding Nemo, when Dory says, just keep swimming. You just keep swimming. You just keep going. You just keep doing the things you know you're supposed to do. So on this Thursday, if you're in that spot, just take a step. Just take a step. Build that muscle. Build that strength. Keep on going. Take the next step up the mountain. Walk 12 more inches. Go 1 more foot. Do the thing that needs to be done today. But here's what I want you to do. Probably more than that, the best thing, the most important thing I want you to do today is I want you to be good. I want you to be great. And I want you to be you. All right. Bye, guys. And we'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. I will not do a call in the morning. Have a great weekend. Have a happy Friday. Have a great Saturday. Have a great Thursday. And if I can ever do anything for you, I do individual one-on-one coaching with people. If I can ever do anything for you, help you through a conversation, help you through a situation, maybe be a listening ear for you, I am happy to help. All you got to do is reach out. You can send me a private message on Facebook or socials, and my phone number is all over the internet. So if I can help you, I'd love to. But again, have an awesome Thursday. See you guys. Take care. Mm-hmm.